We are.
Oh, we're on.
live,
Oh, okay.
baby.
Oh, let's go. Oh, cool.
Welcome, sir.
Hey, man.
Hey, it's a pleasure to see you again. Even though I see you throughout the week all the time, but
I know, but this is, it's a show. We're doing a show.
it's a show. This is our show, so it feels good. It's like welcoming ourselves back home.
That's right.
Feels like home. Mm-hmm. All right, so
Do I have to remind you every fucking time? Do it. You have to do it.
all right, let's get it. Do I do the 5, 4, 3?
Oh, you can do it. Yeah, sure.
Yo, 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 yo! What's up, man? It's your boy Foster Lee
Feinstein.
and Feinstein. We're back with another week of entertaining. What would you call what we do?
Oh Christ, I don't know.
There's no name for it. It's so different.
Actually, I think what we're doing is both unique and remarkable.
Facts.
How do you like that?
I agree.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. And
Let's
neither would
go.
you. And
That's-
neither would you.
That's true. So, if this is your first time watching Foster and Feinstein, make sure you go subscribe and you like this here. And we have a special announcement. Me, Foster, and
Feinstein.
have just reached 100 subscribers. Thank you guys. Hey, that's why we're on here drinking. We're cheersing to that accomplishment, man. I appreciate you guys for everything that you do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking our videos, man. You got everything to say to the watchers and the viewers and our fans?
I don't know about what fans. That would get me like nervous. Getting back to saying the remarkable and the unusual. I actually, I have and not a commercial. I have a blog and a podcast, and I'm very reticent to pimp
Reticent.
them. Yeah. Ooh. I'm self-conscious about. Well, you got to read it or you got to listen, but not with what we're doing here. I think what we're doing. I think I tell people you got to watch. It's really interesting
It is.
to have two people like us doing what we do.
From different walks of life.
Oh man, I'm a huge fan of what we're doing, and for so many different reasons. I think it's I actually think it's important what we're doing.
It really is.
Okay.
Culturally, it's important. Spiritually and physically, it's important. It feels good. We're not scripted. We're not told to do anything. We literally just come here every week. We sit down and we have a good fucking time right in front of you. There's no nervousness between us. There's no what is the word where it's like we're forced to do anything. This is literally something that's organic.
You're always looking at coercion.
Coercion. Yeah. See, he's the writer, so he's got all these big words. I wrote a book, but it's not like nothing like thinking in that type of sense.
Okay.
But so cheers to us being our biggest fans, and then cheers to you guys for making this show possible. Because without you, we wouldn't be anything. So thank you again. Really, really, we really appreciate it.
And just so that you know, this isn't like because it's not like television or this is these are margaritas.
Yeah.
They do have alcohol, so it's not a prop.
Don't do this at home if you're a kid. Kids at home. I think I make these. Our videos are. I think I hit the check bar for adults only. Anyway.
No, you did.
Kids won't be able to watch this show.
So I would say probably PG.
PG-13.
Rather than R, because it's really the relationship between the parent and their child,
What they'd allow
and
us
if
to
they're depending upon how they get along and what understandings they have, they could watch.
Okay.
Okay?
That's a fact. You're right. Because Musa can watch these. I'll let my son watch everything that I do. I'll never do anything that I'll hide from my son.
Jesus Christ, what is he? 4 months old?
4 months old, baby. Hey, you got to indoctrinate him at some point. You know what I mean? I'm not doing anything out here that's like X-rated. I wouldn't let him see no buttholes and no shit like that. He said, oh. I've only had a couple sips, man. You know? Hey, man, shout out to the mother. Wait, let me get this is a shout out to the followers. There.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the followers.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
So let's get to the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll probably always make a thing about, not being rehearsed. There's no script or anything like that. But the only thing that we did that was planned is that I'm wearing a New York Yankee baseball shirt, a real one. It's actually Derek Jeter. And Foster.
I'm wearing the iconic Michael Jordan Jumpman T-shirt, which is synonymous with Chicago, because that's where I'm from, and he's from New York. If you didn't know, if this is your first time watching, go back and watch some of the other ones. You'll learn a little bit more about us.
Yeah, New York is it's oh, here come the boys. We're at the Quiet Beer Company, which we always are on Sunday because we're closed. And the only thing that generally goes on Sunday is that Kai makes cheesecake.
Yeah.
So there's cheesecake being made while we're on the air.
Wait, so shout out Beer Code too. Appreciate you guys for the space, the lighting, the ambiance, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. I mean, we would still do it like you've seen in the previous shows and episodes. We did it at the beach. We did it at the pier. We've done it at my house, in my living room. We can do our show anywhere. That's the beauty of our shows. We're not constricted to a location, and we're not constricted to a topic. But this Beer Code experience is deemed the best because all of the people that I get comments from and reports from, they love the lighting, they love the setting. So shout out to Beer Code for making it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's a great spot. Oh, and the only thing I want to add, because we're facing the street and looking out a window, which is why the lighting it's really nice. I know there's a term for it. It's not direct lighting, it's not indirect lighting, but it's not like shadows and things. It's a real soft lighting. But I'm looking out and I'm seeing my motorcycle, which is now parked in a legal spot on the street, because if you were watching last week, and if you haven't, you ought to see it. It's really a trip. We had to stop the tape because the local police came over and essentially rousted me because my motorcycle was parked illegally, and we got off on a whole thing. It's really funny. You ought to watch it. But I'm just reminded of it because I'm looking, and there's Flaming Lips. That's her name. Just sitting out there kind of like it's like your horse. You tie your horse up, and it kind of waits for you. So anyway.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
How was your week, brother?
Not bad. Not bad. I actually wrote about it. I experienced an old kind of a feeling that I thought I had left behind.
Bringing that old school
Yeah.
love
I worried. I was worrying because I had a project to do, which I haven't done. It's a grant. I have to fill out a grant application.
Nice.
But
so you write grants too? I'm like,
no, I don't. No. I'm doing one. I'm doing one. They're awful things to have to do. But I found myself like a couple of, we call them nights, like 3:30 in the morning, to kind of get up, and I was worrying about having to do this grant application, which I'm going to start and finish this week.
Get her done, Mr. Larry.
I get it. But so I suppose it would be a highlight or a low light. It was like, what the hell? What the fuck am I worrying about?
Right.
So that it was really a trip to experience that again, and got me off on a whole kind of tangent that I wrote about. But my week was fine,
okay.
and part of it has to do. I've watched our viewership grow during the course of the week.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for me it's been very exciting, and I would always communicate with Foster, and he would say, relax. It's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I told him in the very beginning, because he said, because we've known each other for some years now, right? And we never thought about anything like this before. We never even embarked upon this. I had my own podcast, had my own YouTube channel, had my own thing going on. He started his podcast, which is very, very consistent and informational, and I love working with him, what he does. But he's been a writer for years. And he told me that he was born for show business and never really got into it. And so when we got together, we realized that this is something that we both love to do. It's easy, it's natural, and it's not coerced. And is that say that right? Coerced?
No, coerced.
Coerced. It's not coerced.
Oh, God.
And so it's a pleasure. It's literally a pleasure to be working with this guy because it's so easy. There's never a time. Even when we at the point now when we disagree on something, we respect each other's decision enough to not go further upon in that conversation to create an argument from that disagreement, which is rare. It's rare like Mr. Clean with hair.
Oh my God. Yeah, I will probably avoid politics and religion.
And sports, because
No, I don't care.
White Sox are way better than the Yankees.
I don't give a
The
shit.
Bulls are better than. Wait, I don't know who the Bulls are better than right now. The
Yeah.
Bears.
Well,
the Bears.
no. First of all, the Knicks. I think actually the Knicks may be having an okay season.
But the Brooklyn Nets is the guys to watch it. They're going crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're not gonna go to that.
No. But back to the shirts.
Chicago, New York.
I felt like wearing it, and for today, because what was it? The beginning of this past week, New York legalized recreational marijuana.
Yeah.
And it was immediately signed by Andrew Cuomo, he was so excited, he was hugging and kissing all of his female assistants. And, wait a minute. Right, that's how the trouble started for him. I really was, it threw me back to the time when I got high for the first time.
Right.
One of the many interesting things about us doing this is when I go back to what I would consider a first.
Which
Okay.
is like
No, don't do that.
way
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. And when you had to read off stone tablets to find out what the fuck was going on. But it is kind of interesting. So when I talk about my initial experience with smoking pot, it was in June of 1966, which was a story I was getting into before the police came.
Fuck 12. Wait, no, I shouldn't say that.
What?
Fuck 12.
What's that? Uh-oh. No, don't say anything because we live. It's a small. What?
You're right.
What does that mean?
It just means fuck the police.
Oh no. Don't. Bad. No. No.
He's like, what is that?
No, it's not.
But see, that was a natural reaction because it's not like he understands my lingo all the time. And I don't understand his lingo all the time. But that's the beauty of our show.
Well, and when we're dealing with the police and that incident last week, for unbelievably obvious reasons, we have different connections
100%.
to the police and how we individually react.
Facts.
But again, I certainly wouldn't want this to somehow become a forum for a bitch fest.
No,
about anything. I don't
About
give a
anything,
shit if
right.
it's the cops or.
We're about us. So back to 1966.
Oh yeah,
Fuck 12.
Right. No, don't do that. The story of my. I don't even know if I want to get off into it, but it.
Oh shit, the police.
Again, my inspection is expired.
Oh shit.
I know, I'm in trouble. Cuff me. The idea of wearing the shirt and legalizing pot is way more, is more timely than the story of the first time I got high, which was a trip. Okay, I'll tell it. Can I tell it really fast?
Yeah.
Not the whole page.
That's the thing. 'Cause for this episode, if you watch all our previous episodes, we ask each other questions. This episode, we're not gonna really ask each other questions. We're sticking to the subject matter which we left off on last time when we got interrupted by the police. We're talking about pot, marijuana, chronic, loud, gas, that strong. All
all right.
Mary Jane. This is the Mary baby. So,
Ganja,
ganja,
Uh-huh.
that smoke.
smoke. Very, very quickly, because really this whole thing about pot being legalized for somebody like me it's absolutely mind blowing that it should actually be happening. I was a page at NBC. It's an usher. I talked about it before. A bunch of characters worked. I mean, I was just a 20-year-old kid working.
You were 20?
Yeah, shut up. Going to college in Queens College, and got a job, I would take the F train, I would go to NBC. But the wonderful characters. I mean, just a real array. And I was maybe 1920. They were like 25, 30, and over. They were actors looking for a break. One of them was this off-the-wall character, which I mentioned. His name was Kenyon Slaney. British, seedy-looking kind of guy, slick back hair that was probably like olive oil. He wore these double-breasted suits that looked like he got them from a second-hand shop, and he had a real kind of a like sort of a regal air about him.
Yeah, well, he got that sauce when he
Yeah,
walked.
yeah. What a trip. Anyhow, I went to his house, which was over on the east side of Manhattan in the low 60s, like a fifth floor walk up. We go into the guy's house and we go into his bedroom, and his bedroom is like a tent. He's got sheets that go up to a point in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Rolls a joint, and we get high, and I'm sitting in a fucking tent. All right, on the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
Time.
Yeah, and I got laughing. Great. We went downstairs and we went to a bar called Fridays. Fridays on the Upper East Side of Manhattan became the franchise of TGIF.
Are you fucking shitting me?
No, I'm serious.
This is my first time hearing this, guys.
Yeah, it was the first one. But anyhow.
So he really is a dinosaur.
Yeah, thank you. So we walk into this bar, and it was back then in the 60s and stuff. The whole singles scene exploded in bars all over the urban areas, and the Stones were on the jukebox, and the crowds of people. And we just went in there to a brightly lit place. What do we got? Oh,
Julian.
Oh wow. Okay, that'll be interesting.
He's gonna come in.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a guest coming. Fuck it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's a character. He's done some. Julian is a motorcycle rider enthusiast. He's an owner. He's a serial entrepreneur. He owns a piercing shop and a bunch of tattoo shops. His tattoo shops is where I got a lot of my ink. A lot of my ink. So
he has like lug nuts in his fucking earlobes.
Gauges.
And to me, if I was wearing them and I turned my head quickly, I'd knock myself out. I'd just go wrapped in the head. Anyhow, before we get so, that was my first experience. Went into this bar, just laughed hysterically, and
Jew.
Wait, don't say Jew.
Julian.
Oh, say Julian. Don't do Jew things. Oh, you're gonna. And remember, you're mic'd.
Yeah, I know.
So you're gonna hear him when he talks to his friends.
Big Julian.
But anyhow. Well, good. I got him all. I'm the star. By the way, I'm the really important one in the show. Oh.
All right. I think he thinks that we're open. I think he thinks that they're open.
Oh, whatever. So.
What's up, man?
It's hard to say if they're open or not.
No, we're closed. We're shooting a YouTube video, so you're a guest. Bring a chair up and sit behind us.
No, but seriously, it really is. It's like a real show.
It's a real show. We're live, baby.
Yeah, and you probably want to take. It's like or leave that. Oh, there we go. Hey, man.
How you doing, man? Long time no see.
By the way, you're our first guest. This is our seventh episode of doing Foster and Feinstein is the name of it, and it's on YouTube. We got a YouTube channel,
and we just got 100 subscribers, so we're celebrating on the.
Well, cool.
I'm
so glad to be able to stumble in and be a part of it.
Hey, man.
You're our first guest.
You're our first guest. We're talking about our first time experiencing pot and the legalization of pot in New York and in Chicago.
It's in Chicago. So I'm pretty much done. But the only thing I want to add is, starting, going back then into '66, I absolutely never imagined that pot would ever be legal, let alone the fact that when I was doing it, you rolled a joint or a hookah if you were really cool, not a hooker.
Hookah?
Hookah.
They put weed in the hookahs?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I thought it was just hashish.
It doesn't matter. Hashish.
You get a tar.
But now you have these little machines. You don't even need match. You don't even need match. Yeah, like you press a little button, and you puff and you get high. Anyhow, that I could go on endlessly, but I won't. But the basic thing is, I really never in my life imagined that it would be like okay. the reason why it is okay is not because extraordinary things have happened socially. It's because governments are making a shitload of money on the
Facts,
taxation.
facts.
That's the
He's right.
only
Facts.
that is the only reason why marijuana is getting legalized recreationally, all around the country.
100%.
So
So I go to
I'm done.
mine,
You should. No, yeah.
and I'm wearing my. So he wears New York shirt to represent the legalization in New York, which was a month ago, like a week.
No,
ago,
a week ago.
A week ago, and I'm repping my
Jordan.
Jordan shirt, which is synonymous with Chicago, where I'm from as well, because they legalized marijuana a year and 1 month ago, which so it's an anniversary for me. But I've been a part of the marijuana industry. I've smoked weed my whole life. I haven't smoked in a few months, but it's one of those things where it's not what they said it was to make it that illegal. It's not an illicit drug. It's not a thing that you're gonna smoke and go fucking crazy. I mean, if you got like bipolar disease or some
It's
shit,
not a gateway drug. It's a gateway out drug.
there you go.
You know, for somebody like me who has done a lot of other hard drugs in my life, marijuana helped me to get off of those things.
Exactly.
It was a,
Oh, really?
It
Oh,
was
wow.
a natural supplement I could use to get away from things like cocaine and methamphetamine.
Oh, it's a perfect. You joined at the perfect time because
Yes.
I hope our
started-
sound.
It's
I hope
really
the
true.
sound is good.
We're-
Oh,
our
he'll probably
mics- we're
pick up
mic'd up.
us.
He's
Yeah,
picked-
yeah,
he's
yeah,
picked
yeah.
up.
No, it's really true. And they should let all the people that are in jail now in prison that are for marijuana crimes that they committed in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever, let them the fuck out because it's a bunch
Let
of
my people go.
let my
well, they
people
did.
go because it's a bunch of white men now that are making money
Oh my God.
off of what they imprisoned a lot of black and brown people over.
He said that in the
You
last
need to
episode. Perfect shit.
remember that. A lot of people are in jail for things that other people are making money off right now.
Facts.
One of the
Should have been legal a long time ago. They never should have been in jail.
It
in
was
the
legal
first
before
place.
it was illegal.
Yeah,
Right.
A really
In a
quick thing,
sense.
because then you need to tell your story. But one of the things I liked about when legalizing it in New York, they're expunging the records,
Saw that.
right?
Saw that.
I-
That is the way it should be.
And I
across the
don't
board.
know, aside from expunging the records, which is historical, I don't know if they're letting people out who are currently in prison. That I'm not sure.
Haven't
I'd be
seen
surprised.
that yet, but I would think that they would go hand in
be
hand.
synonymous.
If-
Well-
if you don't got to charge anymore, then why are you in prison?
Right.
You would think, you would think, but then you also have to remember who they're going to be letting out of prison. The same people that they were really anxious to put into prison. So,
You know what? It's just
They
my-
made their money already. Let them the fuck out, man.
You know,
Shit. Free
some-
labor.
Somebody said something to me the other day about how slavery is over and this kind of stuff. I was like,
No.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
There's modern day slavery today.
Facts.
If you don't know about genocide in America, you would have lost a large bit of American history. Trail of Tears,
Yep.
you know, all these things that only when it happens to black and brown people do you forget about it.
When it happens to poor people, don't understand that that's
don't get it.
majority of people.
well, listen, the world has a history
has a history.
of doing that. Human beings have a history of doing it, to each other.
That's facts.
And it was the first time some hairy dude who had a club in his hand whacked somebody over the head because they were
caves, in
they were
caves.
smaller,
Yeah.
didn't like their hair,
Yeah.
or was like a woman who didn't have a name for being a woman back then.
That's
So it's really historic. Anyhow,
Back to my
Yeah.
story. So yeah, smoking weed, and then like to touch on what Julian said is that I started an organization when I first moved to Kauai back in like 2013, 2014, which for Kauai chapter was the HVCA, Hawaii Veteran Cannabis Alliance.
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Well, I know
That's why
well.
we're doing this show.
I knew that was coming next.
And so,
Wake up.
yeah. And so for the HVCA, Kauai chapter, what I did was realizing that it was 27, or it was like, was the number 27 back then of veterans that were committing suicide per day.
Yeah, it was 22.
22, okay.
That's why they were doing 22 push-ups.
Yeah.
It was
And so I wanted to do something to combat that. I started the Kauai chapter. The organization was already started in Oahu. They had a Maui chapter, and I think they had a Big Island chapter. And I started the Kauai chapter, the first Kauai chapter, after I started the Veteran Support Center at the school that they didn't have either. I was the first one out of Hawaii that started the Veteran Support Center that made it so veterans don't have to go straight to the front desk when they go to school. They come there first. They talk to me as a counselor to show them, okay, what classes you need to sign up with. And instead of going to an 18-year-old, it's like
Way better way to go.
100%.
Yes.
And so that blossomed and rooted into the Hawaii Veteran Cannabis Alliance, so that vets that were issued all these oxys and these pills to deal with anxiety and sleep
Just
and
gonna
depression.
kill 'em in the long
Right.
run.
We transitioned to weed, and we have meetings
Way
in my
better.
house, and it was dope. It was really dope. And, wait, it's dope. Dope is another word for weed too nowadays. So.
But
No, no.
I know, but in Chicago,
Nowadays-
they call
let
it
me tell you.
dope.
how do you turn dope to medicine?
That's true.
It's medicine.
That's true. It's medicine.
But dope was a word for pot a long time ago.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. But using the word dope in a different context,
Right.
it's like, hey, man, that's really dope. So that's different. That's
It is,
cool.
yeah.
So it's funny how how our, I don't know if we want to call it slang,
Yeah.
how it kind of,
transitions.
how it evolves.
definitely evolves.
So dope was cool because the original word,
Yeah.
and so it stayed that
It definitely-
that attachment
history
to the
repeats
word.
itself,
Yeah.
And we gotta be the ones that change the history, and that's why it's dope that me and you have. Shout out, give him a pun.
Mongrel Bob.
Mongrel Mob, Hawaii.
MVP.
So it's really dope that we're doing this show together, because at the end of the day, we're literally like breaking barriers of like us not being able to talk to each other. Because if I saw you in the street and I didn't know you, you saw me in the street, you didn't know me, what are the odds that we would talk and reach out and try to figure out what we have in similarities?
Somewhere between slim and and ridiculous, but
It's like ridiculous.
but the thing
We're
of
changing
the
that.
thing about barriers is they're invisible. So the barriers are the barriers are in the mind.
Yeah.
They're not.
Mindset.
They're not in
mindset.
fact. They're not in fact.
Okay.
So, anyhow, well, man, boy did we take like a.
No,
What a turn this one took, huh?
Hey,
Ooh.
unscripted.
No, I know.
No, non-produced. Let's go. We got our first guest. We didn't hire. So now, if you want to be a guest on the show of Foster and Feinstein, get on the list and.
Well, no, all right, what are the odds? And so call. We're at the beer company, at least for now, until
We get our studio set up.
and until Showtime calls, and
Or HBO, whichever.
it's fine.
Whoever gives us the biggest check.
We're at the beer company on Sunday, from around 2:22 on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you the significance of 2:22. It's a problem that Foster has with time, but we're here every Sunday from 2:22 on doing the show.
Yeah.
What a trip this has been.
What's a trip?
Yeah.
Hey, we honestly can finish it and just
No, I think we're
bring it to a close.
right.
We talked about pot. We thanked our viewership for growing. We're only going to go up from here. There's no turning back. We're going to continuously do this every week. We appreciate y'all for staying with us. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. Make sure you like and subscribe right below, and send this to as many friends as you can. And we'll be back next week. You got anything to say, Larry?
No, I'm like I'm pretty much overwhelmed in the best way possible, and for somebody who has great difficulty shutting up, I'm really shut up, man. Honestly, I'm at a loss for words, from the heart. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Huh?
I love it. Appreciate y'all, man. Foster and Feinstein, we're out, baby.
Thanks a lot. Bye now.
Safe.
Y'all be safe. Holla.